Hello everyone and welcome back to PhytoPathoVerse. I'm Malini, molecular plant pathologist with a motto to make plant pathology easy. With ASRB NET 2025 approaching, we are continuing our special series on model papers, each designed with 100 carefully selected questions. So, today we will be moving forward with model paper 3. Starting with question number 1, that is, simple interest disease over time produces which type of curve? That is saturation curve. For this, we need to remember the curve for simple interest disease and compound interest disease. Simple interest disease is basically the monocyclic disease which produces saturation curve, whereas compound interest disease is the polycyclic disease which produces this sigmoid curve. Moving on, question number 2, plant pathogenic bacteria are heterotrophs. Okay. Question 3. Puccinia graminis triticide produces ascospores on it is Burberry plant. We have discussed it many a times. There are 5 different types of spores which is produced by a macrocyclic rust pathogen, that is Puccinia graminis triticide, which is black rust, also called stem rust of wheat, and they produce 5 different types of spores, P, A, U, T, B. Okay, so here they are asking ascospores are produced on which, because they are having one primary host and alternate host. So the primary host is obviously wheat and the alternate host is Burberry. Okay. Question number 4. Flagellar arrangement in arena is peritrichous. Go with the flagellar arrangement of all the bacterial pathogens. Okay. Like examples of monotrichous, amphitrichous, lophotrichous and all. Peritrichous is a type of arrangement in which a bacterial cell, they are having flagellar arrangement all over their body. That is for arena. Yes, more pathogen are also there which comes in this category, such as Pentoia. Okay, go through the examples. Question number 5. Viroid, a new infectious agent causing potato spindle tuber disease, was first reported by Danier. Question number 6. Sexual spore produced by fungi causing downy mildew disease is what? It is oospore, because downy mildew disease, it is this genus of downy mildew disease, they are normally belongs to oomycetes. So the sexual spore is basically oospore. Question number 7. Wilt disease of banana caused by Ralstonia solanacearum is called as Moko disease of banana. Okay. Question number 8. Bursting of pseudostem in banana is observed in plants suffering from Panama wilt. Okay. Question number 9. Downy mildew is caused by the member of the family Perennosporiaceae. Okay. Question 10. Nylon netting of tomato nursery is practiced for the management of leaf curl. 11. Hertic net is found in ectomycorrhiza. Next question. Agrobacterium tumefaciens causes galls and tumors. Question 13. A computer software system developed for field sampling of diseased specimens. What is the computer software system? It's called Field Runner. Question 14. A computerized disease forecasting system for the occurrence of late blight of potato. So there are, according to my knowledge, there are more than 1 or 2 type of computerized disease forecasting system made for late blight of potato. Okay, but according to the options, we have here Blightcast and Simcast. both are the options are correct. That is option A and D, which are made for the forecasting of the disease lead blight of potato. Next, Clistothecia with single ascus and mycelial type of appendages is common in genus. It will be Spherotheca. You know, the genera of powdery mildew, all these are the genera of powdery mildew, right? And they are having fruiting body, that is Clistothecia. And the genera of powdery mildew are classified on the basis of the type of mycelial appendages. The question asked single ascus and mycelial type, so it came out to Spherotheca. If the question was asked single ascus but dichotomously branched, so the answer would have been Podosphaera. Okay. Accordingly, it will be changed for Ericephale, also for Libellula. Question number 16. Blotter test is commonly followed for the detection of seed-borne fungi. Question 17. The alternate host of Hemilia versatrix is, it is not known. Why it is not known? Because Hemilia versatrix, that is coffee rust, which is it is an auspicious disease, means they are not having any alternate host. Question 18. Most widely used biocontrol agent is what? It is Pseudomonas fluorescens. Question 19. Groundnut bud necrosis virus is transmitted through thrips. Next question. Most widely used fungicide for smut fungi. For smut fungi, it's Vitavax. If it was for rust fungi, it would have been Plantavax, because both belongs to the same group, that is oxanthin groups. We normally get confused in this question, but remember, for smut it is Vitavax. If it was asked rust, then it would have been Plantavax. Question 21. The sexual spores produced by fungi belonging to Deuteromycotina. It will be no sexual spores are produced, because Deuteromycotina, it is what? It is called dustbin group. Okay. And all the asexual spores belong to this group. So, no sexual spores are produced under Deuteromycotina. Next, MLO are sensitive to tetracycline. Question 23. An example of bioagent. With eyes closed, it will be Trichoderma viride. Next, Tundu disease of wheat is caused by what? Tundu disease, it is a disease combined by bacteria and nematode, right? So the bacteria here is Corynebacterium tritici, and the nematode involved in this disease is Anguina tritici. So the answer will be both A and B. Next question. Outbreak of disease over a large population. It will be epidemic. Next question. Black stem rust of wheat is caused by Puccinia graminis tritici. Next. Peach leaf curl is caused by fungus. Which fungus? It is Taphrina deformans. Question 28. Non-motile spores for fungus are called, it is aplanospore. Okay. If it would have been asked motile spore, then planospore. Okay. Next question. Teleospore is a sexual spore. Question 30. Grain smut of sorghum is caused by Sphaerotheca sorgi. You know, all the options A, B, C, D, they are the smuts of sorghum. In sorghum, we have 4 different type of smut, and all 4 are very important. But the question here asked is grain smut. So the causal organism is Sphaerotheca sorgi. If we talk about option B, that is Sphaerotheca cruenta, so what it will be? It is loose smut of sorghum. Option B, Reliana, it will be head smut of sorghum. Option D, they have told what? Toliposporium ehrenbergii. So it is long smut of sorghum. So they remember the causal organism of all 4 smut of sorghums. Alright. Question 31. TMV is transmitted through, normally when we talk about transmission, we think it might be insect generally, then it can come to nematode or fungi, but no. In this case, it will be cigarette. That's correct. Because TMV is tobacco mosaic virus and tobacco is nicotiana, and with the help of that cigarettes are made. So yes, it can also be transmitted through cigarettes. Next question. Coconut kadang kadang disease is caused by viroid, and it is the smallest viroid found till now. Next, question 33. Species that possess 2 motile stages with a resting stage in between are described as diplanetic. Question 34. The most important soil-borne disease in nursery. It is damping off, caused by what? Pythia. Next, tomato leaf curl disease is transmitted by white fly, that is Bemisia tabaci. Next, matured virus particle is called as virion. Question 37. A rust fungus that completes its entire life cycle on a single host, then it will be called as autoecious. So we have seen one more question of autoecious which are not having any alternate host. Which was that? That is coffee rust. So if we will talk about heteroecious, one very common example of heteroecious rust is what? Black stem rust of wheat. Okay. Next question. Mutualistic association of fungus with plant parts. Okay. It will be mycorrhiza. So mycorrhiza is the mutualistic association between fungus and the roots of higher plants. Same, this is also a mutualistic association, all the other options, but for fungus and plants, it's mycorrhiza. Question 39. A phyllospore is a type of blastic conidium. Next, the loss of turgidity and drooping of leaves or shoots caused by fungi and bacteria. It is wilting disease, right? Question 41. Puccinia graminis tritici. It infects eyes closed, it's wheat and barberry. Wheat is the primary host, barberry is the alternate host. Question 42. Chemical that halts the process of a fungus is known as, that is fungistat. So this is the simple difference between fungicide and fungistat. Fungicide, they normally the chemicals which kill the fungi, that is fungicide, and the chemicals which stop or it halts the progress of fungus. They don't kill the pathogen, they just stop it. That is fungistat. Next question. Perithecium is a sexual fruiting body produced by. Now, according to the options given, we have to go with Ericephale polygony, but it is not actually perithecium for Ericephale, because this is a genera of powdery mildew. So most commonly, if the fruiting body name was different, like it will normally go for Clistothecia, right? But if we consider the other options like Albigo candida, Pythium or Rhizopus, they are not at all belong to Ascomycetes, right? And Perithecium is a fruiting body which belongs to what? Ascomycetes. So there is only one option left, that is option D. So we will go with Ericephale polygony. But the correct answer of Ericephale is, the fruiting body of Ericephale is Clistothecia. Just remember it. If we don't have the accurate answer, we will go with the elimination method in exam hall. Alright. Question number 44. Exogenous spores are conidiospore. All the rest were endogenous. Okay. Question number 45. Rhodamine B is used to detect viruses in fluorescent antibody technique. Question 46. Last was 45, it was 46. Late blight of potato is the best example for epidemic disease. Yes, late blight of potato is based, we can say it's epidemic, but it is also a pandemic disease. Okay, if you see a option where both of these are like B and D, so that will be the correct answer. But if we don't have any option as such, so we will go for epidemic disease. Question 47. The sequence of fixing component in the well in ELISA. ELISA is a serological technique. That is option A, antigen antibody conjugate. Question 48. Which of the facts related to Hemilia vastatrix is incorrect? So, we will read all the options. Option A, the fungus seldom invades the cuticle directly. Okay. Next, the iridospores are borne on club-shaped stalks. Alright. Option 3, the lesion is surrounded by a hollow. Option D, Coffea robusta is partially resistant. So, this is the incorrect one. Question 49. Fungi capable of altering between a mycelial growth form and a yeast phase are described as dimorphic. Question 50. Which of the following statement is not correct? Okay, we'll go one by one again. Option A, that is physiolotoxin is produced by Pseudomonas syringae PV fasciolicola. That is correct. PV is the pathover, okay? This is we use in case of bacteria. Option B, tentoxin is produced by Alternaria alternata, which is also correct. Option C, Victorian is produced by Cochliovolus victori, also correct. Coming to option D, taptoxin is produced by Alternaria helianthi, which is not correct. Okay, taptoxin is produced by Pseudomonas. So, the correct answer will be option D, because the question was asked which is not correct. Okay. Question 51. Ericephae causes the disease. Ericephae is the genus for powdery mildews. 52. The induced structural defense. Now, if anybody will know the answer, all these options are what? Defense. Okay. But they ask structural defense. So, it will be cytoplasmic defense reaction. Because this phytoalexin, these phenolic compounds, they are what? They are biochemical defense, right? Question 53. The coprophilic fungi inhabit dung substratum. Question 54. Which forecasting is best for late blight of potato? So for late blight of potato, we'll go for weather conditions. Question 55. The mycologist involved with late blight of potato, who would that be? It is Anton de Berry. The fungus involved with foot rot of paper, it is Phytophthora capsicum. Question 57. The genus of powdery mildew pathogen that produce both external and internal mycelium. Then it will be Phyllectenia. Try to remember, there is only two genera of powdery mildew which produce internal mycelium, that is Labellula and Phyllectenia. Rest all the other genera of powdery mildew are external. They produce external mycelium, right? They are exogenous. But there is only one pathogen or one genera of powdery mildew, that is Phyllectenia, which can produce both external and internal mycelium. Okay. Coming to question 58. The fungal genus that causes anthracnose disease in crops. Normally, anthracnose disease is caused by Colletotrichum, correct? But the other options like Glomerella, Elsino, all are responsible for causing anthracnose. So, the answer will be all of the above. Question 59. Mycotrophy is the symbiosis of a fungus with, myco means what? Myco means a fungi, right? So, the association will be with other fungi. So a fungi with other fungi. This symbiosis is called mycotrophy. Question 60. The primary source of infection for black rot of cabbage. It is seed. 61. The sexual fruiting bodies produced by fungi are what? See, both the options are of fruiting bodies, but they have asked sexual fruiting body. So the answer will be perithecium. Don't confused because they have given one option called both. Because the pycnidium here is also a fruiting body, but it is a sexual fruiting body, right? So the answer will be perithecium. Question 62. Plasmapara viticola grows based on which medium? It will be none of the media. Why? Because Plasmapara viticola is the pathogen of downy mildew, and downy mildew is obligate pathogen, which means it cannot be grown in any culture media. It requires a living host. That is why none of this media. Next question. The Quarantine Act passed in India in 1914 by what? DIPA, that is Destructive Insect and Pest Act at 1914. Alright. Next question. Citrus greening is transmitted by Toxoptera citricidus. Next question 65. Father of modern plant pathology. It is Anton de Berry. Next, germ theory was originated from the works of Louis Pasteur. Next, the first person to transmit virus infection from infected to healthy plant is Mayer. Question 68. The process of self-fertilization in fungi is known as automixis. 69. The chemical reaction involved in Bordeaux mixture. This is very important. It also came in ICAR ASRF 2024. That is copper sulfate plus lime, which gives cupric oxide plus CaSO4. And this cupric oxide is toxic to fungi. That actually kills the fungi. Okay. Next. Question 70. Bordeaux mixture 0.5% is prepared by mixing copper sulfate and lime. Copper sulfate we have seen here, and this calcium hydroxide, this is what? This is actually the lime that we use, which is used as a safener. Okay, now coming to the composition, for 1% we normally use 1:1:100. So 1% of copper sulfate, 1% of lime, which is dissolved in 100 ml of water. So if they are asking 0.5%, means we just have to make it half, which will be 0.5 of copper sulfate, 0.5 of lime, and 50 ml of water. So the answer is B. Question 71. Blast disease of rice was first recorded in China. Question 72. The conidial shape of Pyricularia oryzae. By the name itself, you can guess the answer if you don't know, but it is pyriform. Question 73. The fungus that invades the host through stomata. The answer is Puccinia recondita. Now one more thing, not only Puccinia recondita, all the rust fungi, okay, all the rust fungi, they invades the host cell through their stomata. Remember it. Question 74. Which of the following statement is not correct in respect of Sphaerotheca sorgi, which is grain smut of sorghum? Okay. Now option B, C and D are correct. Whereas when and only we see option A, that is entire head is smutted, which is not right. See, because Sphaerotheca sorgi, as I say, it is grain smut and the entire head is smutted. This is the symptom of head smut of sorghum. So yeah, option A is wrong. Coming to question 75. Green ear is the characteristic symptom produced by Sclerospora graminicola. Green ear is the characteristic symptom of which disease? It is downy mildew of pearl millet, okay, which is caused by option C, this pathogen. Question 76. The sclerotial bodies of claviceps microcephala upon germination produce the following spores and fruiting bodies. Now claviceps belong to what? Ascomycetes. Now obviously the option will be in between B and C. We just need to know it is ascospores in apothecia or ascospore in perithecia. But the answer is ascospore in apothecia. Question 77. Seed treatment with a fungicide is not useful against. Okay. So it is smut of ragi. Question 78. Which fact with reference to Cercospora arachidicola is not true? The answer is Conidia shorter than Cercospora personata. See, Cercospora arachidicola and Cercospora personata, they both are the pathogen of early and late ticka of groundnut. Okay. Question 79. Which of the following statement with reference to Phytophthora species is incorrect? See, here we see option B and C in which both are demanding कि these pathogens are causing fruit rot in areca. Okay, so see, Phytophthora areca causes obviously nut rot in areca, but Phytophthora capsicum cannot cause fruit rot in areca. So option B is the correct answer. Coming to question 80. Elcino-amphelina causes anthracnose in what? Grapes. 81. A copper-based fungicide. Out of which one is a copper-based fungicide? It is phytolen. And the active ingredient of this phytolen is copper oxychloride. Question 82. Diplanetism is exhibited by saprolegnia. Question 83. Point out the non-systemic fungicide. So out of this non-systemic fungicide is Xerum, because Xerum is a sulfur fungicide and which is contact. So Xerum is the right answer. Question 84. Which is the most effective soil drenching fungicide? It is carbendazim. Next, the trade name of the fungicide, triadimethon. It will be Beliton. Next, the trade name for oxycarboxyn. It is Plantavax. If it was carboxyn, it would have been Vitavax. Next, the mycelium of Oomycetes fungi is cynocytic. They are aseptate in nature. 88. Repeating spore of rust fungi. It is Uridiospore. Question 89. Secondary mycelium of Basidiomycotina. It is dikaryotic. Question 90. Macrophomina fezolina belongs to the order Sphaeropsidales. 91. Late blight of potato caused famine in Ireland in the year 1845. 92. Frog eye spot of tobacco is a serious disease caused by Cercospora nicotiani. Question 93. The perfect stage of Helminthosporium oryzae. It is Drexclera oryzae. 94. Citrus canker caused by Xanthomonas citri has been suggested to be originated from Java and India. 95. Viroid are devoid of protein coat. 96. Leaf curl of tomato is a Gemini virus whose nucleic acid is made up of DNA virus. The genetic material of Gemini virus is what? Single-stranded DNA. Okay. 97. Contagium vivum fluidum theory was proposed by Beijering. Question 98. Papaya ring spot virus is a non-persistent virus transmitted by Myzus persicki. 99. Of the 25 virus diseases recorded in India on potato, the most destructive one is which one? Rugose mosaic, because it is caused by the combination of both PVX and PVY. Next, last but not the least, question number 100, that is yellow mosaic of bhindi and mosaic disease of cassava are transmitted by Bemisia tabaci. So, we have come to an end of model paper 3. We will be back soon with a new model paper. Till then, keep learning, keep growing. See ya.